In the case of native advertising, you need to be in lockstep with your advertisers, and you need to figure out what is their message and how you can apply that message to craft something that your audience wants. And the end product was great. I mean, Dell was our first partner. We've had 3 more on board since, many more to come. And I think it was a great example for other clients to show that native advertising can work. It doesn't undermine traditional journalism. And frankly, to all of the criticisms about transparency and what a client can achieve from it, I think at the end of the day we've had a very successful campaign.
I think that the discussion we're really having here when we're talking about church and state is, are we going to do advertorial? I happen to think advertorial is soul destroying. And I remember advertorial when I was a kid. It actually said advertorial, and I knew what it meant. It meant don't read me. And so the reason that brands are engaging in content as the next level of our discussion with our customers, going from social media to media, is because we want to start these conversations about topics that are interesting to them.
And the best that you could do is train your staff to identify leads. So that's one part of the business. Another is content strategy. So after we do identify a lead, somebody who can really talk through the budget of what kinds of stories would we write for you, the advertiser. And then finally, the content creation group. And so that group would create the content, but also work with search engine optimization experts and get it on the site and sort of the operations behind it. NewsCred has come up with a platform that I think does a pretty good job of the back end of all the back and forth with the client that you're going to need to do. So that sort of, I hope, starts to give you an idea of the different pieces that you need to bring together to have an operation on sponsored content and native advertising.
So when we run native ads on any of those publishers that I mentioned before, we will write a great article. It'll be a great blog post, let's say 5 ways to do content marketing right, something that is targeted to our target customer, but we'll still have some sort of call to action at the bottom of that article, because ultimately we're still the goal is still demand generation, and we found that if you can provide a really useful blog post, those people do click and people do want more, and if what you give them is also valuable, so another really useful tip, white paper, guide, whatever, people will convert. So I think there's a way for publishers to offer both the benefits of native and then some sort of click-through. I wouldn't totally dismiss it.